Everything to know about the Dune sequel. Timothee Chalamet returns. Zendaya's expanded role. Get ready to go back to Iraqis. Dune fans rejoice, because the sequel is already in the works. Dune was initially released in October 2021 and was not only a hit with the fans, but with the critics as well. The Oscar-nominated film starring Timothee Chalamet and Zendaya was a box office smash, earning more than $400 million worldwide. The immediate success of the film led to the confirmation of the sequel shortly after. Denis Villeneuve will return to direct the second film. In March 2022, he revealed that the screenplay was mostly finished, but it's always a work in progress, Villeneuve said in an interview with Collider at the time. It'll be a work in progress until final cut, but I will say it's solidified. I have a script in my hands. We are in prep right now. My crew, we are in full prep for the movie Dune, based on Frank Herbert's lengthy science fiction novel of the same name. Was always intended to be split into 2 movies, according to Villeneuve. Chalamet stars as the film's hero, Paul Atreides, while Zendaya plays Chani, his future love interest. The cast is rounded out by Rebecca Ferguson, Stellan Skarsgård, Oscar Isaac, Javier Bardem, Jason Momoa, Josh Brolin, and Stephen McKinley Henderson. Zendaya's role in the first part of the franchise was minimal and left viewers wanting more. Luckily, the wishes of the Dune fandom appear to be coming true for Zendaya. I will say part 1 was a promise. I know that we saw a glimpse of her in part 1, but in part 2, she'll have a prominent part, Villeneuve told Variety in a March 2022 interview. We will follow Timothee and Zendaya on their adventures in the desert. That's the thing that excited me most about going back to Iraqis, is to spend time with those characters again. Zendaya also hinted about her storyline development with Deadline in November 2021. Anybody who has read the books knows there's so much more to explore and deal with, she said at the time. In the same interview, Chalamet expressed his excitement to get back on set. We were ready to do it back then, when we wrapped part 1. This story is far from finished, he teased. Although most are set to return, Isaac won't be one of them following his character's death. However, 2 new characters will be introduced, Princess Irulan and Phaedratha Harkonnen, played by Florence Pugh and Austin Butler, respectively, while Dune Part 1 had a same-day theater and HBO Max release. Part 2 will have an exclusive theater release. However, it's yet to be confirmed when it will arrive on streaming platforms. When does it premiere? Dune Part 2 was confirmed in October 2021 and has since undergone a number of schedule changes regarding its release date. While the premiere was originally set to come out on October 20, 2023, the film's producer, Mary Parent, told Deadline at their Contenders film event that the production had been pushed back to the fall. In October 2022, Variety revealed that Dune Part 2 will now hit the big screen on November 3, 2023, though the premiere had been pushed back to November 17, 2023. The film is taking an earlier time slot due to the delay of Marvel's Blade. Per Variety, Chalamet, Zendaya, Ferguson, Skarsgård, and Bardem are set to return for the sequel. Momoa, Brolin, and McKinley Henderson have not officially signed on yet, but if the sequel stays true to the novel's original plot, all 3 of their characters could make an appearance. Zendaya's character, Chani, was briefly introduced for a few minutes in Part 1, only appearing in Paul's, Chalamet, visions. At the end of Part 1, Chani and Paul finally meet face to face. In Part 2, Chani will become the female protagonist with an expanded role. If the movie follows the novel, Chani will guide and protect Paul on his journey and emerge as his love interest. Dune Part 2 will introduce 2 new characters, Princess Irulan at that point, and that she was still bringing exactly what she brought to the first one, which was incredible, but in greater abundance. It's really surreal. You feel sort of like a kid in your favorite film. It's like walking onto the set of any film that you admire, like walking onto Indiana Jones or something like that. Like one of those films that really impact you as a kid. That's how it felt. The Carrie Diaries alum gushed to Variety in November 2022, noting he was a huge fan of the first movie. It was this cinematic masterpiece, so the idea of getting to be a part of that world is just incredibly exciting, and Dennis is one of my favorite filmmakers, and just an amazing human being. He's so kind, and I'm a fan of every one of those actors in the film, so I felt really honored.